Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's that time of day where the events are over and most of you, including me, want to go home, so I will be brief. But I would like to just make a few closing remarks. Firstly, I'd like to thank IOSH, the events team and UBM, our joint conference organisers, who've done a fantastic job this year. I'd also like to thank our speakers, our sponsors, our friends at ASSE and CSSE, the Manchester and Districts branch, our exhibitors, and most importantly you, our UK and international delegates. I really do hope you've had an opportunity to participate in debate, activities, see the exhibitors and network. In terms of highlights over the last 2 days, for me there have been so many and I don't want to go through all of them. We've had tracks, we've had workshops, we've had spotlight theatres, we've had the exhibitors, the panel discussions and debates, all very thought-provoking. This morning we heard the views of chief executives within organisations and they gave us their first-hand insight into the importance of integrating health and safety and creating the right culture where health and safety is embedded within the organisation's activities. Remember, who's responsible for managing health and safety within organisations? It's management. Later we heard from Steve Flynn, or Dr. Steve Flynn I should say, and Steve gave us an insight into what BP have learned from the mistakes that were made, and more importantly what they're doing. And as safety champions we should really be learning from their experiences so that we don't actually suffer the same, but we learn from what went wrong with them. Yesterday we had In the Dock. Fascinating. Gave some people a real insight to what happens in courtroom situations. Hopefully most of us will never experience that. Some of you may have been lucky enough to listen to Paul Blanchard this afternoon. Paul's a real victim. He had an accident. He's in a wheelchair. I'm sure Paul won't mind me saying that he's one of the lucky ones. Why is he lucky? He's lucky because he's alive. But that should also remind us as to why we're here. We're here to prevent things like that occurring and prevent future calls. Recently we've just heard Graham talk about the brand, and I guess we're all diplomats, or we're all representing the brand. And the question we should be asking ourselves is, do we deliver the promises that we make? I'd like to just remind you of some forthcoming events that are coming up. We've got IOSH 2013, that'll be on the 26th and 27th of February next year, and that'll be in London at the Excel Centre. We've got the SHP and IOSH Awards coming up on the 18th of October in London this year, that's at the London Hilton Park Hotel. Please do let us have your feedback for the event. This will help us further improve next year's event, and it will help us ensure that we're giving you what you want. If I can just remind you, this conference theme was changing perceptions. And I do hope that you've been able to, well, we've been able to sow some seeds and get you to think long and hard about what you are doing and what you could be doing differently to influence our organisations, or clients, the media, the government and the public. I think Judith summed it up quite well. There's a few things she said, but one of them was, do we want to be seen as the problem or the solution? 22 years ago, when I went for my first health and safety job, the interviewer said to me, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? And I looked at them and I said to them, I want to be out of a job. I want you to make me redundant. Because if you make me redundant, I'll feel I've done my job. You don't need me anymore. And really, we should all be looking to make ourselves redundant. Hypothetically, of course. Yesterday, I said that I truly believe that the challenge to recast health and safety in people's minds is one we can all rise to as individuals within our respective organisations or businesses. But it really is up to us. We've been through the easy part. The easy part was attending this conference. The real challenge now is, what are we all going to do tomorrow, the next day, and beyond? How can we transform the knowledge gained into actions that will really make a difference to our organisations or our clients' organisations, or businesses, or government, or the media, and the public. And that's a true measure of the success of this event. And more importantly, that's a true measure of the success of people like us in this room. My challenge to all of us in this room is, are we prepared to be different? Can we dare to challenge and to make change happen? Thank you very much. Have a safe journey home.